at the end that's going to be super exciting. And so with that, I want to just say that like my intention for this session right here is to have you guys feeling inspired. Like by the end, I want you to feel empowered to get out there and go make a better plan for your meals, for your health and for your families for the week. And I hope to give you some tangibles, like, you know, like maybe reminders of things that you already know are good things to have in your cupboard, but like, you know, to get clear and to get organized. And we're going to basically be sharing what has worked the best over all these years for my family, and now passing it down. Like generational meal planning has actually happened because my daughter is doing it on the regular. So for those of you who don't know me as well, you know, here, most of you I know pretty well, but for those of you who don't, I'm Coach Stacy. I'm like the proud founder of The Nourished Life. I am a personal trainer and I am a nutrition coach, but really I am a mindset coach and people empowerment coach. And so I really want to empower people to make the changes that they want to make in their life, whatever that is for them, starting with taking the best care of themselves that they can. I'm the proud mama of 2 girls. I have Mia and I have Ashley, and I live on Kauai too, for those of you who might not know that. So I'm so excited to be having my co-host Mia with me on this, because she's done such an incredible job of leaving the nest and becoming an adult and taking really good care of herself. And a lot of that has to do with her meal planning and food. And I'm so proud of it. And I wanted her to share some of that with you guys today. So I'm going to let her introduce herself for a moment.
Hi guys, I'm Mia, Stacy's daughter, grew up on Kauai. I'm currently going to school at Chapman University, which is in Orange, California. I live in Huntington Beach right now, so this is my 3rd year in school. I went through living in the dorms and eating in the cafeteria to cooking for just myself, and now living with my boyfriend and splitting food and cooking for the both of us. So I've definitely been through a lot in terms of figuring out and learning how to meal plan and cook for myself and make good choices. So yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Okay, good. Thank you for helping me with this. Such a good daughter. Okay, so the thing that I always want to start with, no matter what I'm coaching, is our mindset. So framing the possibilities and making sure that like you're really clear on your why. Like, why are you here today? Why was this important to you? You know, it's a little bit different for everybody, but I think in regards to keeping yourself on track and really developing the habit of your best self-care and developing the habit of good, solid meal planning is something that takes time, but the more that you do it, the quicker it gets. And it just kind of, you know, like sometimes it's a little bit cumbersome to start, but like it will fall in. So I know for me, I'm just going to share some of my reasons why that this was really important. After, you know, becoming a coach and learning about better nutrition, I really wanted to just like model it in my house and for myself and for my family. And I think that I'm going to share this protein, carbohydrate, and fat chart, which is really a foundation for balanced nutrition. And I started doing that with my girls and with my family, you know, 20 years ago. And I always wanted to, yes, so this, hopefully you guys have, there's lots of different charts and things that I've used to coach from and teach with. But I do like this one because like at a glance, we're going to talk about food timing, food types, the amount you should be having, even some portion sizes that are easy to kind of like establish. So I just want to kind of build your confidence in that as we go through. But in regards to mindset, like nothing made me feel better than seeing my girls eat healthy, like seeing a healthy balanced meal in front of them and then digging the vegetables and like eating protein. And the other thing I did as a parent, I always really tried to make the connection between how my girls were feeling, like how they felt when they ate food. How do you feel when you eat food? So putting the mental connection between food is energy. That's why we need to eat food. Food is energy. We need energy for our lives. So we would talk about, eating our, what would we call it, Mia? Our growing food, like literally when the kids were younger, like, okay, we're going to eat our growing food first. Nothing was ever off limits, but it was making that connection between like, oh, what is my favorite food? What do I like to eat? How am I feeling? Also just a balanced diet and healthy food is our foundation for good health. Just period. It's, we don't want to be on pills and medications. We want to be eating this, good, healthy food. And so we've always made the majority of the meals that we've made at our home. And we've all been in really good health for a really long time, and kind of passing that on. So I want to encourage you that if you've ever said like, I'm just not good at meal planning, I hate to meal plan, I don't have time to meal plan, I don't like meal planning, like these are kind of things and stories you may be in your head, if you've ever said those things, I want to encourage you to just stop saying them like now, from like now moving forward. If you hear that in your head, to just clip that and replace it with, I love to learn something new. It's okay if I, make mistakes as I go. I want to, I love the way it feels to eat a healthy meal. I love, it's less stress when I've got my healthy meals planned out for the week. All the reasons why we're actually doing this. So Mia, I thought I'd kind of have you sort of share some of the things like your mindset, like why meal planning is important to you. Like, how does it affect your life? Talk about it.
Yeah, so I think definitely as far as the mindset goes, even right now, especially during COVID and quarantine, we're always home. All my classes are online. So I think shopping and meal planning has always been like a fun experience for me and my friends, or me and my boyfriend. So just going to the store, making a meal, that's a couple events throughout the day that are just like our big events. Like we look forward to it. What are we going to cook? What are we going to buy? And just kind of giving us like, making a plan for the week has always been fun. I think meal planning and shopping, eating healthier is also huge for me for saving money and just forcing me to eat healthy. I think that, a lot of people think that healthy foods are always more expensive, but when you think about it, going to the grocery store and buying simple veggies that make up a meal versus buying the pre-made chicken nuggets or pre-made food, it's going to be a lot cheaper just eating healthier. And I've noticed that definitely. It's totally been a learning experience. I grew up with my mom always setting a great example, but being on my own, I've definitely had to learn and figure things out for myself. As a health science student, I've also learned about nutrition a lot, which has been a big help. I think that taking the time to be knowledgeable about nutrition, it makes it so much easier to just navigate the grocery store and navigate, cooking healthy meals for yourself. So yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. So with that, I wanted to kind of just start this with this protein, carbohydrate, and fat chart that you guys might have in front of you. And because some people have been taught the fundamentals of good nutrition and some people haven't, so it's not, I want to kind of like empower you that we have three main macronutrients. They're proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, and all foods fall into one of these categories, and a lot of foods are a combination of these categories. So it may have some healthy fat, some healthy protein, and a carbohydrate within one food, so that happens. But I want to kind of show you this protein, carbohydrate, and fat chart. When you're just getting started, like these are the types of foods that you want to have in your house, and it's personal preference. You may be a vegetarian or vegan, or just, lean towards, there's just different whether you're eating all of these apply, whether you're eating just a regular balanced diet or, lean towards any of those tendencies, a vegan or vegetarian. But protein is a foundation. You want to have these, oh good, my cursor's working here. You could choose any one of these. So in here, wait, before you go down, what I want you to do today is you're going to take an inventory in your house. Like, what do you already have that are these in your refrigerator? Maybe you've already got eggs. Maybe you already have frozen chicken or turkey or tofu or tuna or salmon. Like, what do you have in your refrigerator that's this? So this is the first step that I always do, is kind of like taking an inventory and going back, like food timing, usually protein eaten at each meal. If you're a woman, the palm size of your hand is a great just kind of like marker. When you look down at your plate, you want to look and see what represents, what is represented there. Is there a healthy protein? Is there a healthy fat and healthy carbohydrate represented? So I want you to kind of always like think about that. So this can help you. You can also look at this list and just kind of highlight and identify, like, what do you like? Like, just go through it, take 2 seconds, and even have your daughter, your family, like, identify, like, what do you like from this list? In regards to fats, I like to have, and what's recommended is you have a variety. So a lot, fat got like a bad, some people are afraid of fat. Some people are, saturated fats. And, there's, watching my cholesterol, all kinds of different things. But if you look at this, if you identify a few of these fats from the saturated, the monounsaturated, and the polyunsaturated, if you just have them in your cupboard. So what do you already have? What are you reminded of, and what you want to have? It's good to be eating from all of these, okay? So I'm gonna have you, and then you guys, getting into, how much, there are different body types. There's eating right for your body type. I'm 52 going through menopause. Mia's 20, depending on if you're an athlete, how much exercise you're getting, like there's ballparks. That's for like a different Zoom. And you can always call on me individually for that, but scoot down a little bit. Let's go through here. And the carbohydrates is the part where people tend to get a little bit confused. So there are you can strategize when you eat your carbohydrates, okay? So this is sort of the food timing, giving examples of food timing before exercise, after exercise, and so on. But I want you to scoot down here so you can kind of come back to that. We're gonna land here on this last page. So carbohydrates there are 3 primary categories for carbohydrates. So I hear again and again, I don't eat carbs. I'm really good today, Coach Stacy. I didn't eat carbs. I'm cutting out carbs. Carbs. I'm so sad for them because they've just there's like this whole like bad racism going on about carbs, and they're great. They are our main source of energy. You should love carbohydrates. Between 50 and 60% of your diet should be filled with carbohydrates. I want you to become friends with carbohydrates, to be emotionally connected. So you're going to look in here and identify the different carbohydrate categories: fiber rich, whole food starchy, and refined and sugary. Okay. So in your cabinets and cupboards, like, what do you have in here that you like? This is really great to do with kids, like Andrea and Stacy. When you have young kids, get them involved in this. And even your spouse, like, you may like some of this and they don't. It doesn't matter. It's personal preference. But having and identifying things in your refrigerator from each one of these are just this is your foundation. So these fiber rich, you can eat often, any time of the day, mac it up. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to count servings. Just like eat a bunch of any of this: cucumber, spinach, carrots, tomatoes, celeries, peas, beans, legumes, most fruits. Just go for it. Like, don't overthink it and enjoy it. Whole food starchy can be kind of like timed a little bit, again, depending on if you're an athlete, if you're raising athletes, if you are, older, in your 40s, 50s, 60s, our metabolisms definitely slow down even when we are active. So you can get like strategic about these and time them. Like if I'm going to have like pancakes or more rice or pasta and stuff, yams, I might be having them in my breakfast and in my lunch, as opposed to knocking them down at dinner before I go to bed. So think about that a little bit. And then these down here, refined, sugary. It's not like you can't have a dessert or a soda or something like that. I have no problem with figs, dates, or something. Nobody ever does it on raisins that I know of. But what I would suggest are some of these things. This is a good opportunity if when you leave the Zoom today, you go into your pantry and decide, okay, I'm done with these fruit juices or sodas. Like you can kick that stuff out of your cupboard so that you only have them on occasion. Like if you go out to eat, you have them, or they're on like the occasional thing that you're having and not all done up. So this is, yeah, like this is a really, so use this to like double check where you're at, and then use it to help build your confidence and to help stock your pantry. Okay. So I'm going to go right into the next page, which is the actual weekly grocery list. And you can show that for a second. And then I'm going to, so I have veggies, fruits, proteins, carbohydrates, and then scoot down a little bit, your meals. This is legit what I use each week to do this. So let me like explain my madness. So maybe like, let's unscreen share for a second. Hopefully you have this. So this is how I do it. This is just what works and what has worked really well for me. The first thing I do is I have these printed out. I will carry this around throughout the week. It will get all scrunched up and messy. And as I like deal with my week, some things get transferred from one page to the next, week to week. But I get up, and I did it this morning. I usually do it on the weekends. You guys decide there's a day or time that you're going to do the planning. It's going to take you like 30 minutes, if not less, okay, to do what we're actually getting ready to do right now, the actual meal planning. But then once it's written down, it doesn't really matter when you get to the grocery store. You have your plan. Like it's here with you, and you now have like your instructions to go out and hit it. So I actually write down what I have. I go to my freezer and I look at what do I have in my freezer, what's in my cupboard, and what's in my refrigerator. So today I'm just going to example, like on proteins, I am stocked. Like I've got chicken wings, chicken tenders, ground turkey, organic ground beef. I have shrimp. I have, I do like those cauliflower pizzas from Costco. I have Beyond Burgers. I have tuna. What I don't have is tofu, which I'm going to be getting from the store today, and maybe one of those rotisserie chickens from Costco. But I have a lot, and this helps me because at a glance, you're going to build your meals from this paper. You're going to be able to see like, what do I have? What do I need for the meals that I'm going to be creating? Okay. So what I do is I then I put like little asterisks down by the things that I want to get. Like if I need eggs or I need something, I want to get that, I will kind of highlight it. And sometimes I will color code the things that I need from a particular store, because I'm not going to get everything at one store, and I'll get into that in a minute. So I kind of have my system at a glance for figuring this out. So I know what I need, is kind of asterisk, and then what I actually have. So print this out and go into your kitchen, identify what you already have. And now we're going to scoot into, wait, let me see if there's anything else I was going to have Mia add on this topic before we get into it. Mia, you go ahead and talk about this, like this philosophy and like the strategy.
Yeah, I think that I've grown up seeing my mom do this a lot. So it's been just touching on seeing a balanced plate, having the veggies, protein, and, healthy starchy carb has always been on my plate growing up. And it's been just a no-brainer for me going into making my own meals. It's kind of just something like you have to, in my mind, it's like when I'm making a meal, it's just automatic. And I think that makes it easier too, figuring out what to make. Like, you know, you need a veggie, you need a starchy carb, you need a protein. It just makes it easier to just pick and choose what I'm going to cook. And yeah, I think that my boyfriend's out grocery shopping right now, and we did the same thing this morning, just taking inventory of what we have, what we like to get, you know, shopping every week or every 2 weeks. You know, every time we do it, it just gets easier and easier because we know what we like, and we know, you know, in terms of each section, protein, veggies, or whatever, you know, we just automatically have our go-tos. So throughout the years, it does take practice, but the more that we do it, the easier it gets. So that's my suggestion.
Thank you. It's really good. I was also like, when she initially left for college, having this knowledge helped her navigate the cafeteria. She was on a meal plan. She had to go in there and navigate that bad boy every single day, you know, for her whole year. And she did not gain the freshman 15. Like, she was able to go in there and understand what she was eating and why she was eating it, and like get it in there. Is there anything else you want to add on that? Like,
Yeah, I
how it
think that,
helped you out of, you know, when you're not making your food?
yeah, I think in the cafeteria, you know, I was presented with all this food, so it made it a lot more, I wasn't buying it, I wasn't choosing my food to cook, I was presented with it, so it almost made it harder to pick and choose, you know, the right choices. And then in my cafeteria, there was stations, so there was an Italian station, and each station had plates, like a full entree with sides meal at each station. And everyone usually did that. They just picked a station and went and grabbed a plate, and that was their dinner. But for me, I realized quickly that, you know, I didn't have to just take a plate from one station. I could grab the chicken from the Mediterranean station and then go grab, you know, the brown rice from another station and grab, you know. So I was able to kind of, as if I were cooking my own meals, I just picked and choose the things that I liked from each plate, and I put it together to make the best meal for what I was craving and what I felt my body needed. So.
What I was craving and what I felt my body needed. Can you guys write that down? What I was craving. She's intuitive. She's listening to her body and what she needs, and she's thinking about it, and she's navigating it. So you guys, whether you are a working professional, you've been invited to the, you know, brunch, here's the buffet, and now you've got to decide, what do I eat? What's best for my next meal and everything. So like, I want to empower you to do that and use this. I don't care if you're on vacation in Italy, if you're just planning for the next week over, you know, next week ahead over here, like, it doesn't get more complicated than this. So think about it, and also talk about it with your family, and like teach it on that level. So like, now we're going to get into, this is like my favorite one. Thank you, Mia. Step 3, choosing your meals. Okay. So this is something that I've been doing. First of all, I want to just say it. We're all adults here. Most of us, a couple little cakeys, but you guys, you need to get into the mood. This is like food foreplay. Like, you need to get into the mood. You can't just expect yourself to like think of everything in advance. You're going to get in. She's laughing. Good. You're going to get in. It's like you need to get inspired. So you need to give yourself some time to actually do that. So I want to encourage you. This is a time when I want you to do it when you are hungry. When's that? You've had your workout, you've taken a shower, you're hungry. Okay, go online. I'm gonna show you some places, don't go there yet, where we can actually get in there and get inspired to meal plan, okay? So that food looks good. So you wanna do it at times where food looks good. And then you wanna start talking about it. Stacy, this was critical for me from the time that they were that age and on. And I even did it this week. I did it last night. I was like, okay, everybody has to pick at least one meal. They all have to contribute. They need to choose, and their meal will get represented at that week. So once you've chosen your meals for the week, if you have 5 to 7 meals, and we're going to get all of the ingredients for all of those 5 to 7 meals, it doesn't matter what day they roll out. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to show you about that in a second. But having them, so last night, here's another tip. Ashley suggested Greek pasta. Where did we get that recipe from? Because our local Kauai pasta has a great Greek pasta. Think about the restaurants that you like to go to. What are your favorite dishes at the restaurants that you like to go to? try to emulate or make your version of that favorite dish at home. Okay. So think about those things. So she chose the Greek pasta that's literally on. So we're going to ask them for suggestions. The other thing is buddying up. Okay. So within a household, some people may share, like I do. I do the majority of the actual grocery shopping now. Not that I can't ask my husband to get something at the store and he'll do that. Okay. But if, you want to share the responsibility, and also it's fun to buddy up. Like Mia has Chris, but before she had her boyfriend Chris, she had some friends at school, okay, that like you can actually buddy up with. So either other people who are into eating healthy, like you, right now people are wanting to save. And then also like, so maybe like make it a fun date with your girlfriends. If it's not going to be with your husband or somebody else, like get together with your girlfriends once a week, or your neighbor. Maybe it's a parent or somebody who actually needs some help. Like buddy up and make it fun, and make a date to share the costs, to share the experience, to share the brainstorming about what's going to happen. Okay. The other thing I want to encourage you is if you eat, all meats, you could go meatless one night a week. That's something fun to do. And then you can also like try one new recipe once a week. So maybe you like it and maybe you don't. It's okay. Like not all recipes are going to be a hit. If you have it and your kids say, can I have it again? Your husband says that was good. Okay, that could go on rotation. I think that it's really important that there is like meal fatigue. It really does set in. Okay. So kind of like pace yourselves here, like there's 42 meals to potentially 3 meals a day or whatever be made a week. I could be wrong math, but something like that, 40 something meals. What's 3 times 7? 21. So like be aware of that and allow yourself some time to like, okay, maybe you are going to eat out once a week, but if you can cut that down, I think that is huge savings and all of those good things. So yeah. Okay, so before we get into some of the resources, yeah, I think that was it. Like think about recipes from your favorite restaurants, choose a partner to buddy up with, ask for your, in regards to these meals. Now I'm going to show you some resources and places where I get some of my recipes from. So some of you have been following me for quite some time. You know these recipes, you've seen them. Just FYI, you can Google at any time. You can just Google, like I've got asparagus and chicken. Just Google healthy asparagus and chicken meals. If you just Google healthy, the word healthy before any ingredient that you have or something that you want to use, you'll probably get a plethora of recipes that come up. Okay. But you'll also get like a ton of ads, and sometimes it's like 6 pages down to actually like get the actual recipe, and it can take even more time. Okay. So I'm going to show you here. This is the Beachbody blog. Okay. So it's beachbody.com/blog. And I gave you that resource in there. So they've got a bunch of different websites, but this is the actual blog. And so if you come to the blog, go way to the top really quick. So all I use in this blog is the recipes, or I'll go under nutrition, but we're going to stay here on the recipes first. But I will just literally go chicken, like I'll go chicken and I'll go scoot down to like main dish, main meal. Okay. And then you're literally going to get so many ideas. So if you spent 5 minutes, in here, and this is another thing that you might want to do with, you can go down to that rotisserie one. You might want to do with your family and your kids. I remember I used to do this because something that I might think look good, and then they're like, they poo-poo it. They're like, nope, doesn't look good. All right. Where's that one? Because I've made a lot of these. Is it under? Okay. The butternut squash. Telling you, you've got 5 minutes to make dinner. This is the one to make. So I will often, you can use a frozen chicken if you want to defrost it, but the rotisserie chicken at Costco is good. Also, the chopped butternut squash that's already chopped at Costco is good. You got 1 onion in there, a red bell pepper, and a can or a jug of the chicken stock. So I like to do recipes that are 4 or 5 ingredients or less. You're literally gonna dump that in a can of corn. You got a can of corn, the cube stuff, like it's like dump, dump, and dump. You know, there's thyme and salt and pepper. That's it. My whole family loves this. It's easy. It's done super fast. So depending on your life and where you're at, like this is just one example, but scoot up to the top a little bit. When I go to any recipe, the first thing I do is I look at how many ingredients there are. If there's too many ingredients, peace out. I'm not going to do it because I don't like a bunch of too much. And then I'll look at the serving sizes, 8 servings. Okay. So for us, depending on your family size, you might want to double it. How I prevent from meal fatigue is if I'm going to take the time and energy to make a dinner, I'm going to double whatever that dinner is. So dinner that night is lunch the next day. It's done. That's what my husband takes to work and it's done. So that's how you cut it in half. So you might want to, so look at the serving size, because some recipes it's like 2. You're like, you know, like, so you're going to want to like quadruple that recipe depending on what it is, right? So the amount of ingredients, the serving size, I also might look at like the time that it takes to make me. I never really look at the calories. I look at the ingredients. I could care less about the calories. Thank you, Vanna. She's so good. All right. So there we go. That's an example of how I kind of like search these. I also want you to know I've been compiling for the last few months hashtag Coach Stacy's Kitchen on Instagram, like all of my recipes that you'll see me post, because I do kind of post a lot weekly. I just wanted to compile it in one place. Oh, over here under nutrition, pop under nutrition. And then if, see how all these categories, that's okay. Nutrition. And there's categories under there. Just go to meal planning. Okay. So under here, meal plans right there. Boom. Nutrition, meal plans. Let me tell you, they got it all. Okay. So if you want, if you're diet hacks for weird work hours, how to prep on a budget, if you're watching, you know, a certain calorie level, they have them for vegan, paleo, vegetarian, everything, but it's really at a glance, clean eating tips, like it goes on and on. So why am I using this resource? Because it's just one page. It's all right here, you know, so like it's just worked well for me. So I would encourage you to, like, when you sit down and take 15 minutes, pop on here and kind of like look through that. All right, that's good on that one. Whew. Are you guys still with me? All right, so that's how you're going to choose your meals. So back to this. I'm going to put my meals down. I've got them. I'm going to be doing the chicken and butternut squash. I'm going to be making a Greek pasta. We're doing basil chicken tonight because somebody gave us fresh basil. That's a personal Ricciardi recipe. I'm going to be doing some falafel this week. Turkey burritos are on regular rotation in our family. So I actually have 7 meals. So what does this mean? If for my 7 meals, I look on my grocery list and I have all of the ingredients at a glance for those 7 meals, I'm golden. I'm done. This is it. One page. So, you know, and then I'd be, oh, I forgot this or that, you know, whatever, different stores and stuff, miscellaneous paper towels, white wine, you know, like whatever you've got to get down here, miscellaneous stuff. And you feel free to use the blank back page, but that's how I actually do it. So I ask my family and write down the meals. If that didn't give me 5 to 7 meals, whatever. So I'll add in a couple of more and get them down there. And then this goes on my refrigerator because I literally forget. I forget. What was I planning? I don't know. I've got to go back and actually remember. Not going to remember all this, right? So there's my madness. That's how I actually kind of like figure this out. And this used to happen on a blank piece of paper, but then I got a little tricky, a little giddy with it. Okay, and then what else? I feel like there was something else I was going to say about that. Okay, you guys. Also, too, I do need to say. So on here, I have been having Shakeology for the last 7 or 8 years. I've raised my family on it. I've peppered it in. It is a quality meal replacement. So whether you have that or something else, a quality meal replacement, something that you can put into your blender and blend up in 5 seconds, that you feel good about, that you can put in your car, take on the go, and that also really helps me prevent from meal fatigue. So for me, a lot of times I'm having that I just put it in whatever meal I'm sucking at or is not turning out well, or I don't have time for, or I just need something fast. Because I'll be honest with you, I woke up this morning, I wasn't that hungry. It's right here, so I can start eating, okay? So that's my personal recommendation, and I can, share that. So I have that. And then, yeah, that's about it for that right now. Okay. Anything you want to add, Mia, on that? Did I forget?
I think you hit most of the things. I think just some examples in my situation. We often have the time to make big, grand, like complicated meals at night. So dinner is often a big meal, but lunch has been a struggle sometimes because we like to keep it really simple, which can get honestly sometimes more difficult because I'm in between classes, even though they're online, so I don't have that much time to cook. So I think some examples we like to do are just like a burger patty, whether that's like a veggie burger, Beyond Burger, or regular beef on a salad. Super quick, you just fry it up. And we like to just do the pre-made salad mixes with whatever dressing we like. And then another thing is like tacos. And I think that that's just been super easy because it's just tortillas, beans, salsa, cheese, which are all super cheap ingredients and really fast to just put together. And you can just rotate whatever protein you like throughout the week. So for us, we like shrimp or chicken, even ground beef, and adding taco seasoning to anything just makes it taste really good. So I think that's some like really quick examples that we just do on a regular basis.
Yeah, I can't express the burrito bowl and the tacos and stuff, because like, especially for the younger kids, like we always put fresh papaya or mango inside your burrito or your tacos. And then when you have that kind of a spread, like if I want to skip the tortilla because I don't really need it, but my girls can have the tortilla, or your kids can have the tortilla, and you could just do black bean greens. So depending on like your family's dietary needs, maybe some are vegetarian or some are eating less of this and more of that, it's really easy to pick and choose, and it's colorful and it's fun. And I got my girls cooking as soon as they were like 5, up at the stove scrambling eggs, cooking their food. Like anything that I felt was cool, like the knife wasn't too sharp, pretty dull, like here, chop this over there, like get them involved in the actual process. I think it's really important. Okay, maybe I should, we have a couple of more talking points, and then I want to stop talking and just like open it up for questions and things like that. But I just wanted to say, like, in regards to getting to the store here on Kauai, Costco is a regular for me, but I can't get everything I need at Costco. And I'm inevitably at the farmer's market, which we're limited right now, or, at other grocery stores. And so, like just knowing that it's going to probably take a couple of trips, to get to the store, knowing that even if you're only meal planning for one day or your next meal, it's still meal planning. So if you just have 3 meals planned for the week, when you used to have none, you're making progress. Like, be proud of that. Don't expect to like come out and have like all these meals for the month, or like them all dialed in and planned out. Do you know what I mean? Like, it takes time to get these systems in place. Mia just got her Costco card. Like, she's like, it was like a big adult maneuver to like get that card. But
yeah, it's just been such a big help, especially just buying in bulk so we don't have to go out to the grocery store. I think especially it's just the two of us right now. So shopping at Costco kind of from the outside seems like, well, why do you shop at Costco? Like that, usually only people with big families would shop there. But I think that, buying that huge bag of shrimp will literally last us 2 weeks, 2 weeks plus. They're buying the salmon even, we've are always like looking for deals. And I think, the other day there was the salmon that's usually, $9.99 a pound at Costco. They had the one with the little butter balls on top for randomly $4 off. And we don't eat the butter on top. So it's something we like, but, seeing that, we just bought it because it was less expensive. And I think that Costco has a lot of those deals. So that's been really helpful for us.
So really she's really paid attention to shopping, the specials when she's there. And again, like you can see that she's tweaking what she normally would have. She's just like, ooh, I don't need that. That's off. And this is in, that's a better deal. And being able to, make that happen. I feel like shopping for deals. I'm looking at my notes here, just seeing if there's anything else I forgot on that. Oh, also, you guys, especially when you're starting out in regards to really saving money, I mean, this is an important thing. Most of us are budgeted, and over here on Kauai, food is like our most expensive expense. Getting things that are frozen, like pretty much all those things are frozen in my freezer. So I'm just going to pull it out the night before and know that that's what I'm going to be making. I know that Mia prefers a lot of frozen vegetables. Frozen vegetables are fantastic, you guys. They have actually more nutrients than, canned and sometimes fresh, depending on where they're grown. Okay. So like frozen, vegetables so that you can kind of prevent from food going bad, and also like you want your food to be still like as fresh as possible. And you may be planning around, like, I'll look and see like what's going to go bad if I don't use the spinach the next day, so like that might bump that, Greek pasta up a day or whatever. So like it's in there. So you just have ingredients for for a full complete meal, because that would be the pain in the butt. What are we going to have? I don't know. We don't have all the ingredients for this. We don't have all the ingredients for that. But even when it gets lean in your house, like having a case of black beans, a case of refried beans, these are just like foundations. They're inexpensive. They're really good. And you can just always, if you have a majority of these foods in your home, you will always be able to choose healthy. And when you choose healthy, you just feel like a rock star. You just feel proud of yourself. Like you want to feel in love with and good about the food that you're eating and not regretting, I wish I wouldn't have done this and I wish I wouldn't have done that. This is setting yourself up for, like feeling really good about it. So I think that was all that we were going to cover in this. I'd like you to just like unmute the lines. And hi, Jane. If any of you guys have like just input, questions, things that, I'd love to hear. Hopefully something was helpful.
Thanks. Jennifer here. Thanks, Stacy. I've gone through raising kids and have grandchildren now, but mainly what this interested me in was the meal planning, because we end up running up to the market for this, for that. And so I'm just going to sort of discipline myself to, stick to a meal plan, perhaps. We'll see how that goes. With my husband in quarantine away from me downstairs, I've been joking with him, telling him I'll be throwing scraps to him. So I'll be in charge of the cooking. So he does a lot of the cooking. I'm lucky, and it's healthy. But yeah, I just think we could really cut down on what we spend on food just with more meal planning. So thank you so much for this. And thank you, Mia, too.
You're welcome. Yeah, pick meals that sound good to you. Anybody else? Yeah, just like what sounds good and start from there.
This has been really helpful because as an educator, everything is upside down right now. I'm pretty much at work from 6:30 in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and exhausted when I come home just because of, all the brain work that I have to do and just the emotions of the, all of us trying to do our best for kids while they're at home. So I come home a lot of times and I don't want to cook because I'm too tired to try to figure out what I want to make. So doing this on the weekend will help me so that when I get home and I'm tired, I already know what I have so that I can just get it fixed and get it done with, and then we would have enough for lunch the next day.
Well, okay, my heart goes out to you guys. I mean, this is such an extraordinary time, you guys, in our lives. And I know it's really exhausting. And I think that you guys, it's also like our health is our best line of defense, taking care of ourselves, making sure that we're sleeping right, getting enough water, and our nutrition are all things that we're responsible for. And we really do need to do. I want to encourage you, like in some of those resources I showed you, like the crock pot and the Instapot are amazing for, you know, situations like yourself, or even like that butternut squash soup could be made in 15 minutes and frozen. You can make it and then like divide it up a little bit and put it in the freezer so that it would just be like a warm up when you get home. And I know that you have Shakeology on the regular. You can have things like that in the meal. So your dinner, night, and then like a breakfast, and you're kind of done. You know, but yeah, I'm glad.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any kind of,
I have
you
something
know,
to say.
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, like everybody else, thank you, Stacy. Really appreciate it. Hope you don't mind, but I was checking this out for our company. That, you know, I'm trying to look at maybe putting together with you a string of virtual type of workshops, and I think it would work well because I work for KIUC and we just have the hardest time getting people together. I think there are people interested. Stacey has done a wonderful job with our, what do you call that? Our fitness challenge.
Our
So
workplace wellness, yeah.
a workplace fitness challenge, and we've been AWOL for about what 5-6 months. Although you keep trying to come back and help us, but you know, everyone has had so many other things on their mind with COVID. But I'm getting some good ideas about that. But just on a personal level, I think I did figure out why Stacy has been helping me. She hasn't given up me. I think we've known each other almost 10 years. And it comes down to changing my mindset, right? I think that's the key word for me. I was looking at my notes, and it's like it's not like I have a family that goes to Burger King or Taco Bell every night. My daughter meal preps. She eats, she is food prep for the whole week. I admire her. I'm chopping her vegetables, but why don't I do that for myself, right? You know, so I support her in that way. She's an athlete, so is the other one. But so I've gone the sports route, getting to do more physical activity, or starting, because that's a really great stress outlet for me and something I've really slacked on probably for the last 4 years. But I think this workshop is good because it really makes it easier than what I've been thinking it is all this time. You know, it's really doable. So sorry, I don't mean to take up all that time, but thank you, Stacy.
No, I love you, Cheryl, and thank you for sharing. And we do have a long working relationship, and I think that you know, deciding that, okay, you guys, as women, we're always giving, right? You know, we're giving, we're making sure everybody else has everything they need. It's actually a disservice to our families when we're doing that it's important that they know that how you feel matters, and that you are worthy, and that deserving for the time and energy, and that, you know, for what you need, whatever that is, you know, instead of like laying ourselves down and sacrificing ourselves, you know, for the well-being of everybody else. That's not the leadership that I want to like promote, you know. And I can honestly say that like, just like our kids, they're in tune with how we're taking care of ourselves. They see how we treat ourselves. And it's really important that we treat ourselves amazingly and worthy, you know, so that they understand that it's their birthright to be treated amazing and that how they feel. And so even within a family, whether you're 3 or 2, or if you're older and senior, everybody has a voice. How everybody feels matters, and that you can have these different tendencies with the eating and stuff, that there can be variations within the household, honoring what everybody wants. And that was one of the first things, like just kind of like, talking about it. And yeah, I think it's real important. I hear that, so I definitely want to see, like, if anybody else, I'm going to give away these just really cute refrigerator magnets. And if this all works really good, one of you is going to win them. We have like a raffle with a little, like, electronic thing that Bethany has been plugging all of your guys' names into. So Bethany is my virtual assistant who's been with me since February, and I'm so grateful to have her help on the regular. Everybody who actually came today is definitely going to be receiving a follow-up, just a thank you email. And I would love to have you all a part of my Nourish Life if you're not already into that private group. It's just, I have a public pages that I'm constantly posting on, but I like honing in on women because that's kind of like my niche, women that I can relate with the most. So I want to encourage you to join that if you're not already a part. I know a lot of you are. And then if any of you if you have more questions or you really need more help with your next step in your next journey, I do free discovery calls. So it's like a free consultation, but I call it a discovery call because we want to kind of get to the root of things. And I have a set questions that I ask you and a little bit more of information about my program. And so please read through that. Or please schedule one of those. That could be like next week or down the road. And then we can have a little bit of one-on-one time together. And then let's see, is there anything else that I want to share? Anybody else have some like last minute shares, tidbits? Yeah. Izzo, yes.
Yeah, because I'm currently I just moved into like an apartment, I guess. So I'm like in college, not on a meal plan for the first time. So like trying to grocery shop, and then I go to the grocery store and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So like I have to go buy groceries today because I am like out of food. So I will definitely be using your list and trying to like plan for this week to see if I could like figure something out.
Yes. So, Izzo, you're just going to highlight what you like. Don't overthink it. Highlight with a pen what you like in each one of these categories. And then when you get to the store, what's on sale, what can you afford, and just start to, I've got $100 to spend or whatever your budget is. Mia makes, what is your budget right now, Mia? It's gone from like $100, like $150 for like 2 weeks. She makes that thing stretch, let me tell you.
Yeah,
some coupons over there.
Mm-hmm. I'm really good at looking for deals, what's on sale and I think it's also a lot easier when you're splitting. I think now that I'm living with Chris and we literally split the grocery bill in half, that makes it a lot easier. So if you're going to the store with friends or whatever, it makes it a lot easier.
I would say too, think about a friend too, Izzo, if you want to have anybody, and Auntie Stacy is going to be asking you, like, I want to know, like, what did you buy? What did you get? Do you feel a little bit better? You know what I mean? I'm rooting for you. See, these young adults heading out. I love it. Okay, anybody else? Okay, you can pop on. So Bethany, do you want to show them with their cute little refrigerator magnet prize?
Yes.
So one of you guys is going to win this.
I'm excited to show you guys. 1 second.
Because you need to have something to pin up your list on the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
And then also you're going to need to give your mailing address. We're just going to mail it right from Amazon to you.
Yeah.
Whoever wins.
So this is what they look like.
Oh, cute.
Super cute. So we'll be sending you guys 10 of them. And there's just a bunch of little stickers that are just motivational and very sweet. So
Like, hello, beautiful. You could put that on your mirror in the bathroom. Hello, beautiful. Please put that in the mirror in your bathroom. You're killing it. Remind yourself of that. Yeah, strong women make waves. Okay, good.
love that. So
Now I can't wait to see how this works.
Name here. Does anyone not see their name on here? I wanted to make sure I got it, everyone. Speak now.
Is everybody's name on there?
Cool, I think so.
I don't know if I see Jane. Jane, I saw you come in, Jane. I know you came in a
Oh.
little later. This is so cute. Have you guys seen one of these?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm going to spin it now.
Okay, spin the wheel. And it's Jennifer.
Love that. Awesome. Oh, there's clapping sound. That's cute.
I love it.
Yay!
Well, yeah.
I love prizes. That is
Me
so
too.
good.
Love
I
it.
cannot thank you. We're exactly on the hour at 9:30. And I can't thank you all enough for being here. I hope that this was helpful and you have a great, successful week of shopping and planning. Please post if anything I said in here throughout the week, like post it on my Facebook or something, you know, or on my Instagram. If you did something different or tried a new recipe or something was better because you came, I'd love for you to share it, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
Ashley.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Nice to
Thanks,
meet
Bye.
you, Deborah.
Let me see ya.
Okay, Mia and Beth, I'm gonna have you stay for a memento. And then, hey, Jennifer, you can text me your address. I probably know it somewhere.
Yeah, you might have it. I'll text it to you.
Yeah.
Daisy cooperated, but she's got to go out right now.
Okay, go take
so
Daisy out. You're good to go.
bye.
We're just gonna have a quick little. How wow. Okay. Hey, Nikki, thank you for coming. Is that Nikki Anama? I'm assuming.
Yes, it is.
Nice to see you.
Great content. I'm so excited.
Thank you for coming. I love you, girl. Thank you for coming. Is he riding in the motorcycle race this weekend?
He is.
He is? Okay, maybe I see you out there at some point.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Girl. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Did you record it or no?
Yeah, I did. Oh, I should stop that.
Okay.